Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're diving into the world of brake pads and answering the age-old question, how long do they actually last? Whether you're a seasoned mechanic or a curious car owner, understanding brake pad lifespan is crucial for ensuring your safety on the road. In this video, we'll explore the factors that influence brake pad wear, delve into the average lifespan, and provide tips on how to extend the life of your brakes. So, buckle up and get ready for a comprehensive guide to brake pad longevity. The lifespan of your brake pads depends on a few factors, including the type of material they're made from, your driving habits, and the conditions you typically drive in. However, there are some general guidelines you can follow to know when it's time to replace your brake pads. Now, brake pads are typically the most affordable option, but they also tend to wear out the fastest. You can expect now brake pads to last anywhere from 25,000 to 35,000 miles. Semi-metallic brake pads offer a good balance of performance and durability. They can last anywhere from 30,000 to 50,000 miles, depending on the specific material composition. Ceramic brake pads are the most expensive option, but they also offer the longest lifespan. You can expect ceramic brake pads to last anywhere from 50,000 to 70,000 miles. Even if you haven't reached the mileage for your specific brake pad material, there are a few signs that can indicate it's time for a replacement. These include, if your brake pedal feels spongy or travels further than usual before engaging, it could be a sign that your brake pads are worn down. A high-pitched squealing noise when you brake is a common sign that your brake pads are nearing the end of their life. This noise is caused by a metal wear indicator on the pads that comes into contact with the rotor when the pads are thin. If you notice that your car is taking longer to come to a complete stop, it could be a sign that your brake pads are worn down and need to be replaced. By following these guidelines and paying attention to the warning signs, you can ensure that your brake pads are replaced before they wear out completely, which can help you avoid costly repairs and potential safety hazards. One of the first signs that your brake pads are wearing thin is if you start to feel vibrations in the brake pedal when you apply the brakes. This is because the brake pads are not making as much contact with the rotors, which can cause the rotors to vibrate. There are a few things to consider when choosing new brake pads for your vehicle. The first is the type of vehicle you have. Different types of vehicles require different types of brake pads. For example, sports cars typically require high-performance brake pads that can withstand a lot of heat and wear. The second thing to consider is your driving style. If you tend to drive aggressively, you will need brake pads that can handle the extra wear and tear. Finally, you need to consider your budget. Brake pads can range in price from a few dollars to hundreds of dollars per set. As mentioned above, the type of vehicle you have will play a role in determining the type of brake pads you need. For example, if you have a heavy-duty truck, you will need brake pads that are designed to handle the extra weight. On the other hand, if you have a small, lighter-weight car, you may be able to get away with using less expensive brake pads. The BEEP standards are a set of guidelines that were developed by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, to ensure that all brake pads meet a certain level of quality. When choosing brake pads, it is important to make sure that they meet the BEEP standards. There are a few things you can do to extend the life of your brake pads. The first is to avoid hard braking. When you brake hard, it puts a lot of stress on your brake pads, which can cause them to wear out more quickly. The second thing you can do is to avoid driving in stop-and-go traffic. Stop-and-go traffic can also put a lot of stress on your brake pads. Finally, you can have your brake pads inspected regularly by a qualified mechanic. This will help to ensure that your brake pads are in good condition and that they are not wearing out prematurely. One of the most important things you can do to extend the life of your brake pads is to slow down gradually. When you brake hard, it puts a lot of stress on your brake pads, which can cause them to wear out more quickly. By slowing down gradually, you can reduce the amount of stress on your brake pads and help them to last longer. Cabotage is the practice of driving a commercial vehicle within a country other than the one in which the vehicle is registered. If you are practicing cabotage, It is important to be aware of the different brake pad regulations in the country you are driving in. Some countries have stricter brake pad regulations than others, so it is important to make sure that your brake pads meet the local standards. Another way to extend the life of your brake pads is to avoid carrying unnecessary cargo. The more weight you are carrying, the harder your brakes will have to work to slow you down. This can put a lot of stress on your brake pads and cause them to wear out more quickly. Engine braking is a technique that can be used to slow down your vehicle without using the brakes. To use engine braking, simply shift your vehicle into a lower gear. This will cause the engine to slow down the vehicle, which can help to reduce the amount of wear and tear on your brake pads. By following these tips, you can help to extend the life of your brake pads and keep your vehicle safe on the road.